Hey everybody, sorry it's been so long. It's been a couple years since my last video on the Suburban, but today it's time to build the box. But first I want to give you a quick update of what I've done in the last couple of years. This is a quick update video where I'm just going to splice in a few things that I've done along the way. Had good plans for videos I was going to edit and just never wound up editing them because life got in the way. So I have been filming along the way, but I haven't had time to edit because I have been a little busy with... First thing I did was I did install that Mechman 240 amp alternator. I also installed the second excess power D3400 battery. So there's two of the same batteries in there, one under the hood, one in the back. I also installed a double DIN using a Metra kit, which is actually pretty slick. It looks like it was always meant to have a double DIN. And recently I have installed a little bit of a workspace in my basement. I don't have much room down here, but I have enough room where I can make a sub box. So on the next video I'm going to be installing the sub box. It's time to do an update on the Suburban. As you can see, I've gotten the Mechman alternator in.
Come right back.
Going to put in the second excess power battery. Then we're going to go out and film the voltage drop and see, if it makes any difference there having two batteries on a stock alternator. Okay, so I have the battery in the box and I have wires connected to it. I have a 1-aught on the negative side, but I only have one of these left and I need it for when I do the alternator project. So for now I just put a 4 gauge over here on this side, but I'll upgrade that when I can.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
The 1-aught for the ground, don't have to upgrade that later. Right now I just have the 4 gauge running for the positive side. So you have it running out. Got a little fuse holder, just mounted that right to the top of the box. Just take this whole thing, connect each one of these ends into the distribution blocks, and it should be good to go. Alright, the ultimate plan is to put in another subwoofer and I put in another amplifier. So for right now I just have the box kind of set in place, but we'll get this mounted down. So all I had to do to install this was run the positive wire into the positive distribution block and the negative wire into the negative distribution block. So now let's take it for a drive and see what the voltage drop looks like. Let's see what happens. In today's video, we're going to take out the single DIN and we're going to put in a double DIN. Unfortunately, I am going to have to make a few changes here. Look at that kind of bass. Unfortunately, I am going to have to make a few changes here. This is a conversion Suburban from the 90s. It does come with this kind of lame wood trim, but it matches, everything else in the vehicle. Because today I got an aftermarket dash panel kit that's going to allow me to replace this single DIN with a double DIN and look completely stock. The unfortunate thing is it does come black, so I'm going to have to repaint it. Do a little bit of work. Alright, so despite all the upcoming things that I have to do, building the box for the sub, running bigger wires, doing sound deadening, all sorts of things, eventually I want to put in some mates in the front door. Run a digital signal processor, but for now, right now today, one thing I can do is put in a double DIN head unit. So here's the old dash piece and here's the new dash piece. As you can see, the new dash piece is plain black and is probably not going to look right inside the truck. If you take a look at the old piece, you can see that it's actually three tones. It's got this lighter gray, it's got the darker gray, and it's got the wood grain. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to replicate the wood grain unless I can find some stick-on wood grain from that era of the 1990s. And that's unfortunate because, as kind of ugly as it is by today's standards, it added to the character of the vehicle, as this is a conversion Suburban from the 1990s. Think of conversion vans of the 80s, this is a conversion Suburban. And this wood grain was part of the little trim package that originally came with it. But what I can do is paint this panel to match these two colors. I have this color here, which is actually a little bit light. And then I think this one is pretty well matched. So let's go ahead and get this panel painted. So the next step, after painting all this, is I'm going to have to move over all these little trim pieces, and I'm going to have to move over the vents as well as the window switch. Get everything installed in here, and then we can put this on the truck. But in order to do that, I'll have to do a few things first. Obviously, I have to set up the radio. This kit comes with the perfect little mount, allows you to mount it in the exact right spot. As with any install, got to get the wiring harness hooked up. Looks like it was meant to have that. Double layer top.